sure everyone's muted. We'll
Yep,
take a
I'll do
minute.
that now.
Hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you great.
Beautiful. All right, folks. My name is David Rutz with David Allen Capital, and it's my honor to be doing tonight's presentation. We've got a broker overview plan for you tonight. Let me adjust my camera here. We got a broker overview plan for you tonight, and then we're going to be going into our monthly updates first Tuesday of every month. So this is live. Someone asked you to come take a look at our company because they thought maybe you'd want to be a broker with us. And so it's my pleasure. I started this company right here in this same conference room over 10 years ago now. We've helped thousands of businesses with funding. We've paid out millions and tens of millions in commissions and paid out tens of millions in funding. And we're looking for others who say, hey, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you've got an option for business owners to get funding when a bank can't help? And the answer is yes, we do. And we do it every day. And we've done it for over 10 years. And there's millions of businesses who can benefit from what we're offering. And we'll show you how you can benefit and how you can help them in your community. So I've got some slides I want to share with you. Let me start by sharing my screen. It'll just take me 1 second to get this open and get into the proper screen here. And Tyler, can you tell me, do you see my presentation?
Yep, we see it.
All right, beautiful. Business loan brokers funding the front line of capitalism. That's what we do. We serve business owners. You can build an agency and you can get paid well to do both. So this is a big opportunity because businesses need funding and 90% of them can't get approved at the bank. And that's where we come in. Our funding platform delivers the best offer to the client from multiple providers, and you earn fast commissions. And this is very scalable. You can grow an agency if you want. There's no license required, zero cost up front to launch your business. We pay fast. We pay every day, commissions out. You can even scale a team and build income potential if you want to do that. And it's remote. You can build it right from home. So you plus a growing agency could equal scalable income. What do I mean by that? Well, like me, myself, I help businesses in my community. When I started this over 10 years ago, we helped about 20 businesses in our community in our first 2 months to get funding. And so if you go out and help a client get $80,000, maybe you'd make about $3,200. They couldn't get approved at their bank. You get them $80,000, and this is all turned around very quick with no collateral required, and you can make a nice commission. And then if one of your personal brokers does that, because you can build an agency if you want, just like any other insurance agent or health agency or mortgage company can build an agency, real estate, you can build an agency with us. And if you do, you earn on any enrollers, any brokers you personally enroll, you can earn. So if one of your brokers does this, you'd make about $320. So what if you had 10, 20, 50 brokers? So what does a broker actually do? Real simple. They inform business owners that we can get them capital. We come along and help when a bank can't. Our experts take the time talking to the client after they get that uploaded application and handle the funding for you. And your client gets funded next day and you get paid within a week or two. And one thing I'd say is we don't believe in debt. We believe in leverage. All right. What's the difference? Well, debt is money you take and spend. Leverage is money you take and grow with. Right. We're here to help businesses grow, to fuel their business. As an example, they want more locations or an inventory discount, or maybe they want to add some more products or swag to their stores. They want their vacation spot and they want to add new t-shirts, etc. They want to put a new patio out or add new crews, or maybe they're in a position where they've got more jobs they can take, but they got to buy materials first and they don't have the money to buy the materials. So they can't say yes to the job. These are all fuel plays, we call them. They help. We don't launch businesses, but we help take them to the next level. We don't do startups, but we help them go to the next level. They got to be in business at least 6 months with us, right? So we help them go to the next level. Now, we do have something called a rescue play. When a business is just going through a tight pinch, we can help them too. Like maybe they're going to be evicted from their restaurant building and they're paying rent on and they got to get caught up. We help them. Or equipment broke down, or maybe they've got a big payroll they got to meet and they're low on cash. They weren't paid from a customer. Maybe they got to buy new inventory, or they got a tax audit or a legal settlement that they got to pay. It's a surprise bill that they got to cover. Whatever that pinch is, we help there as well. So why business funding? Well, I was that business owner who couldn't get funding at a bank in a former company I owned. I didn't have the collateral to put up, even though we had a growing business. And I had ended up having to sell that company to someone who could afford to fund its growth, because when you're growing, you need a lot of money to cover that growth too. And it kind of stung me a little bit. And then I learned of revenue-based funding, an alternative way to get loans for a business owner. And as I explored it, I said, you've got to be kidding. I got to help some businesses, if nothing else. And so I started talking to a few businesses, and then it was going so well. I told a couple brokers, and then they became brokers with us. And like I said, we helped a lot of business just in our first couple months, just by telling people about it. And that's what you can do too, because businesses need us. Why? Most underserved market in the industry, 30 million small businesses, 27 million are not bank eligible. Did you see that? 6 out of 10 are breaking even or losing money. Businesses, restaurants, tanning salons, hair salons, construction companies, landscape companies. This is these stats, and most don't make it 10 years. And if you ask them as they're closing why, they say their number one reason for failure is lack of access to capital. Yet you can be the difference maker. Because you say, well, isn't that what banks are for? Yeah, you'd like to think so. And banks are great. They're great for 10% of the businesses out there who meet the requirements: collateral, time in business, credit score, profitability. I mean, I understand why the banks require that. Their method of lending is different than ours. But we come along and we say, hey, what about the 90%? What do we do with them? Well, first, why are they rejected? The number one reason is collateral, as we've already said. What does that mean? They must own the building they're in, and most of them are renting, or they must own their home, and most of them have a mortgage. So they can't get a bank loan. Already right there, they can't get a bank loan. Then if they do have collateral, you need 2 years profitability, you need 700 FICO score, you need a business plan approved and required by the bank managers, you have a long, complex application, and 1 to 3 month wait for decision. Now, I understand why the banks have to do this. We're friendly with banks. We refer people to banks. Bank eligible should get it at the bank. It's going to cost less, but less than 1 million businesses qualify. So we come along for all the others. No collateral required. 3+ months in business. We need 3 full months of bank statements. So really 4 to 5 months in business. 550 FICO score only, not 700. Use the funds any way you want. Simple 5-minute online application. We fund in 1 business day, as fast as 1 business day. Usually it's within 3 or 4 days, though. And there's over 20 million businesses. There's 9 million who are eligible for our larger funding, the 15,000 a month. 9 million, and there's over 20 million available for what we call our gig worker funding. So what is this alternative capital industry, and how do we do this, and what would you do if you represent them? Well, first of all, it's a $300 billion industry. 2024 is up 11%. It's expected to grow to 378 billion right now. Our first goal, 1% of the market. That would give us 210 million in broker commissions going out a year. That's significant opportunity for you helping businesses. Here's the problem with alternative capital. It's available. Most businesses can qualify for it as long as they're doing a revenue every month. Problem is there's a lot of providers, and there's no one lender that's best for every business. There's over 100 providers out there. About 20 of them are great. But even amongst the top 20, there isn't one that's best for every business. Why? Well, type of business, industry, monthly sales, time in business, what state they live in, etc. There's many reasons. So how do we solve that? Well, instead of having to apply and tell the business owner good luck, we built a platform called the Bank Breezy Funding Platform. There's banks, and then there's Bank Breezy. And what Bank Breezy does is you apply, or your client applies, one application, all the top funders look at it through our funding platform. It's almost like if you go to Travelocity or hotels.com to look for a hotel, they list all of them. You apply with us, we go find the best offer, present it to your client in 1 day. You don't have to go talk to all those lenders. You don't have to talk to all the underwriters. Our team handles all that for your client, and we present them the offer within 1 business day. Now, sometimes it may take 2 business days if it's a high risk thing, but our standard is most every business gets a decline or an offer within 1 business day. And over 80% who meet our minimum requirements that you're going to see here in a minute get an offer. What kind of offers do they get? Well, it's not as good as a bank funding, of course, because banks require collateral. If you don't pay, they get to take your home or take your building. We don't have that. So there's a added cost, and we can't let you have the money for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years like a mortgage would, right? We have short term, 6 months to 18 months is the term. Our average is 9 to 12 months is the average turnaround. So, which is perfect for working capital. You'll see here in a minute. But our core rate product is what we lead with. Approval amount is generally 1 to 2 times your monthly revenue. So if a business is doing $100,000 a month in sales, we can usually get them to 100 to 200,000. Okay, there's a lot of things at play, but this is our core rate. And the rates, we don't talk rates. In fact, we're not allowed to use the term rates. We talk cost of capital, and we always have for the last 10 years. But some states are now requiring you don't use the word rates, which we're glad with because rates are confusing and manipulative. You can tell someone a low rate. Example, a bank, a 12% loan, you're going to pay back 138% of what you get on a 12% loan over 5 years. Get 100,000, you're paying back 138,000. I know it's 12%, but you're paying 138,000. Wouldn't you rather just know it's going to cost you 38,000 over 5 years? To me, that makes a lot of sense. Business owners can make quick decisions. That's how we've always presented it because I'm a business owner. I was looking for funding, couldn't get it, launched this company to provide funding to business owners. And I just wanted to go to what is it that we can get you? What's it going to cost you? You decide if the opportunity is worth it. It's really simple. So what is the rate? We're going to talk dollar amount. The cost of the funding is usually 1.15 to 1.25 times what you get in the core rate. This is our best pricing. That means if you got $1, you got to pay back $1.15 to $1.25. You got $100, you're going to pay $115 to $125. You get 100,000, you're going to pay back $115 to $125,000 over the term, whether that's 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever it is, that's what you're going to pay back. What are the requirements for core rate? 2 years in business, 15,000 a month, 680 FICO. This is our hardest product to qualify for, but look at that. That's not, you can lease, if you can lease a Lexus, you could probably get a business funding with us, right? It's not very difficult to meet those numbers there. However, and we're always trying to do core rate, just so you know, because this is the best pricing. We're always trying to get this, but not everyone qualifies. So just so you know, we lead with core rate, but if someone doesn't qualify, we have all kinds of providers, and we then move into what we call our flex rate funding. Flex rate doesn't have as much of an approval. Okay, we have all the providers give us the best offer. The approval amount goes down. Now maybe you're only going to get half to 1 times your monthly revenue. If you're doing 20,000 a month, maybe you're only going to get 10 to 20,000, which is still significant for that business owner to go grow their business. But you're also going to pay a lot more because now the cost of the capital is 1.26 all the way up to 1.5. So if you got 20,000, maybe you're going to have to pay back 30,000, right? If you get $50,000, maybe you're going to have to pay back 75, the worst case. And now the question is the use of funds greater than the cost? Is the benefit of the funds greater than the cost of the funds? What are you using it for? You can see it's a lot easier to qualify for this. You only have to be in business 6 months and you can have a 550 FICO score. So if the benefits outweigh the costs, I got a quick story. One of my earlier clients, my first year in business in 2015, we got them an approval for $100,000, but it was at our worst pricing, 1.5. Every other lender declined them. And I told her she was declined, and she was really hurt by it, which hurt me. And she said, I got a line out my door all the time. My restaurant's too small. I've got a patio I can build, but I need $100,000 to build the patio and put the lights in and do all that. Thank you, honey. And I don't know what I'm going to do without this. I said, well, we got you approval, but it cost you $50,000 for that 100,000. She said, I'll take it. I'll take it because I'm going to earn so much more than that 50,000. She took the 100,000, built the patio, did all that. It took her about 3 months to get everything ready. And then all of a sudden her revenue started picking up, and she paid it off early and got discounts to pay it off early because we also have prepayment discounts. So I don't judge anymore if something's costly because I don't know the use or the benefit of the funds. We've had people say no to our lowest pricing, 1.15, because the benefit is not worth 15,000 on 100,000, right? So what we look for is, can we get them a yes We get them the best yes. We present the best yes. We don't determine the pricing. Their business does, right? Their current performance. We guarantee the best offer though. And Bank Breezy, look at that. We got a bunch of declines there in that image on the left. And we got the at the 1 o'clock hours, that big funding offer, the best offer. That's the one we present. We don't tell them about all the declines. We tell them about the yeses. And if we can't get them the best offer, we'll give them $500 Visa gift card. We got a great trust pilot. I mean, that's hard in the business funding space because you have to decline some people and they're not happy about it, right? So to have a 4.6 is pretty good. Nationwide business, 10 years strong. You can help clients in every state and Puerto Rico. We have English websites and Spanish translated websites. Experienced leadership team. We launched this Bank Breezy platform. Over 300,000 businesses have been through it, tested it, and we've got thousands we funded. Broker impact goal, we want 100,000 active certified brokers. Active certified brokers. That's what we want. Right now, we've got about 7,000 active. We've got less than 2,000 certified. So that's where we're at. And we're looking to grow this to 100,000 active certified brokers. That's what the market needs. We give you your websites. Your clients go to a website, they click on it, they can learn more, they can apply online, they can see the requirements, they upload their bank statements. There's a video there they can watch. We've got social posts to share, brochures, things you can share to get clients, to support them, to educate them. And when they get funding, we take over. Of course, once they upload that app, our team takes over, talks to your client for you. So all you're really doing is educating, informing, for if and when the time is right, they need funding, they apply at your website, our team takes over, you get a commission to educate and inform people in your community. That's what I do, and that's what you'll want to do. Business success starts with you. You help business owners grow, you get paid fast with big bonuses. We also have payment processing and our instant gig funding. We don't lead with these, but we've got them. There's over 20 million businesses do gig working. If they're doing $3,000 a month, we can generally, even if they've got a personal bank account, we can generally get them some sort of funding. It's a lot smaller offer. It's only about 25% of what they're doing per month, but we can help them. Our main focus, though, right here, the core rate. That's our business funding product. Up to 2 million is where we're focused. There's 9 million businesses who need this. And our compensation says this: you help a client, you get paid the next day. You get paid the day after we do. Sometimes we're paid next day, which means you're paid in 2 days, but you're going to get paid within a couple weeks. Always, usually 5 or 6 days after the client funds, you'll get paid. You're one conversation away from your next payday. Jim might be watching right now. Jim and I had a coffee this morning. Jim and I met, I don't know, 10 days ago, maybe 14 days ago now. He met, he got certified. The day after he got certified, he had a client apply for funding. The client was approved on a Friday night. Sunday night Monday got approved because he uploaded his bank statements over the weekend. On Monday, he decided to take the offer. Actually, he thought about it for a little bit. On Wednesday, he decided to take the offer, and he had the funds in his bank Thursday, $150,000. Jim got paid today. So I don't know, it's over $4,000 he earned today. I believe it might be 4,300, something like that. So you're one conversation away from a nice payday. But there's other people who've talked to 20 clients and no one's applied yet. It's timing. It has nothing to do with sales. It has to do with educating and informing that we have business funding. They don't know about it, or if they do, they don't know about Bank Breezy funding platform, and you have no competition in your local town. Nationwide territory, but local territories where you'll have the most success. Now, how do you earn? You earn 40 to 80% of bonus revenue. The bonus revenue is what we earn and pay out on the product. And as an example, $100,000 funding, maybe the bonus revenue is $8,000. You would earn 40 to 80% of that. Or maybe the bonus revenue is only 4,000. Then you would earn 40 to 80% of that. Or maybe it's 10,000. You earn 40 to 80% of that. So it depends on what we earn on it. You get paid a percentage. Like on Jim's client that I'm thinking about, just because I looked at it, his bonus revenue was 72 plus another 36, $10,800 on his 150,000. So he made 48% of 10,800. Okay, that makes sense. If he was higher up the ladder, he'd make more. This is the ladder. When you start your referral partner, you only make 10% of the bonus revenue. Once you become certified, you make 40%. As you get more clients, you climb up the ladder, 50, 60, 70. Eventually, you're making 80%. When you have 2 clients and a certain amount of volume, you're already at 50%. And this continues to grow all the way up until you're making 80% of the bonus revenue. Can be very lucrative, but it doesn't stop there. We need more brokers, folks. Real estate is a great industry. As a comparison, 4.74 million homes sold last year to 3 million agents. That means only 1.58 homes per agent. That's not a big demand versus supply of brokers. Still a great opportunity, but look at our side. There's over 9 million businesses who need funding out there and are eligible for our funding. There's not even 100,000 brokers. That is literally 90 businesses per broker rather than 1.58. No competition. And then there's plus the 20 million gig workers. This is a huge place in time. This industry has only been around just over 10 years. We're one of the innovators. We're one of the only people, in fact, we're the only company requiring a certification of its brokers and allows you to do this. Build a broker agency. We say, do what I did. I called a couple buddies and said, you want to go talk to some businesses? I think this is really good. And I buddied up with a couple people. We went out to talk to some businesses. And then we got a bunch of clients who needed funding. They couldn't believe it. And then we got a couple other people who said, I want to be a broker. And we buddied up and continued to grow. Together, you can help more businesses. I think we had 15 clients in David Allen Capital before David Allen Rutz got his first client, because I introduced some other brokers, right? It's just the timing of how it works. Not that I wasn't talking to clients. It's just my clients weren't applying yet, right? So as you build an agency, which we allow you to do, you earn. So what we teach you how to do is effectively support one market. It can be just yourself, but usually it's a you and a few. But once you learn how to support one market, then you can duplicate that to as many markets as you want. You earn overrides on all the markets that you help duplicate. Right. So it's not just your own income. You look at Keller Williams, one of the biggest realtors in the world now. They allow you to build your own agency, not just be an agent. EXP allows you to build your own agency, not just be an agent. Right. Real allows you to build an agency, not just be an agent. State Farm allows you to build an agency, not just, right? All the best companies out there allow what we're doing, allow you to build an agency. Do you have to? No. Can you? Of course. Should you? That's up to you. Here's what happens if you do. You're an enroller, pay of 4% of everyone you personally enroll. You get this every time, no matter what, as long as you are certified yourself. 4% of their bonus revenue, not just their first one, every funding they ever get for life. As long as you're a certified broker, that's all you got to do is get certified. It's 3 hours of videos and tests. And if you don't get something right, you take the test again. We show you what you got wrong. Take it again. It's multiple choice. So you're in 4%. And then you get override spread. Let me just show you how this works. Let's say this is you and you introduce me. You're at the 60% level because you've gotten some clients. Okay. I'm your broker. I help someone get $100,000 funding, $8,000 bonus revenue. I make 40%, $3,200. I'm very excited. You enrolled me. You're making 4% of the bonus revenue of every client I get, not just my first. 8,000 bonus revenue on that first client, you're making $320. Pretty darn good, right? My client, you didn't meet them, you didn't service them, but you made $320. What if you just had a team and got one client a week and you made $300 a week just off that? What if you got 10 clients a week, right? But it doesn't stop at just your enroller commission. We have override spreads, which is the difference between, and most every agency has this, difference between where you are, your 60%, and where they are, the 40% you also get. So we're paying 60% out to you. 40 is going to your broker, 20 more is going to you. So 20% of that 8,000 is also going to you. That's not a bad little check there. You just made $1,920 on my client. How many of me do you want? So as you climb the ladder yourself, the agency ladder, you earn more on your own clients, but you also earn override spread on your agency. You're being a great example. So climb the ladder. Other agency income? Well, in addition to the override spreads, I already talked about the Everyone you personally enroll, you make 4%. That's what you call level one. We also pay additional levels. You can learn about that in training. But in addition to the override spreads, you get this. So even if people pass you on the ladder, you still get paid on their teams and on their fundings. You have to do some work to qualify for that, but we still have it. We also have, once you get to our top level, the 80% level, if you help other people get there, well, they cut you out of the override spread, but we're going to pay you some leadership override. You help Lisa get there, you're still going to make 2% on her team, on the entire team, no bottom, not to mention the 5 levels over there. So you don't have to understand all this. The compensation is this: personal commissions, climb the ladder; override spreads, as you climb the ladder, you earn more on your team. If you help other people reach the top level and you're there as well, you get through 3 organizations plus the 5 level pay. So our income scenario here is obvious. I got to double there. Our income scenario here is quite significant, but it's all production based. So we train you as well. Got a step-by-step plan. We've got an LMS system and a back office. The back office tracks all your deals. The LMS system teaches you what to do to get certified, has other modules, so you can get certified literally in one night. We have promo tools ready to go. We have the funding platform that does the work for you, and all this is complimentary. It's not free to us. We have fixed costs, almost $1 million a year to run the business, just to run the business. If we do no funding, it still costs us that. That's to provide all this. But we do it because we believe many of you can get started with us in a free model, complimentary model, and make things happen, and refer others who will give it a try, make things happen. We have 24/7 broker group in the Facebook page, and your team, they all earn when you do well, so they want to see you win. We have live daily coaching. We call them daily huddles. We have real support, not 24/7, but we have a hub. We have a chat bot that's 24/7, but we have real people taking real calls 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And your leaders only win when you win. So you're never flying blind here. You're never alone. We come along and support you. The other thing is this: we don't make a dime until you make a dollar. Literally, the company doesn't make a dime until you make a dollar. So we give you a better way to serve with no fees, no risks, no fine print, fast commissions possible. And we do this all while serving business owners. We do not take advantage of business owners. We don't close business owners. We're not selling to business owners. We are educating and informing that we've got business funding. If they need it, they apply with us. If it's not a good use of funds, they say no. We're okay with that. We don't charge them a fee if they say no. We don't say, oh, give us $100 for doing all this work for you. No, there's no finder's fee. There's none of that. We get paid by the lender if and when they take funding. The client pay us nothing. We'll do all the work for free for you. 9 million businesses need this, folks. We need you. Small business solution, best funding platform out there. Real solution for a real need, and you can make a real impact. You can make a difference in your community, create your own money machine. Get paid fast, get paid monthly, get paid on your agency, and you're never alone. If you can follow a system and talk to businesses, you can win. Summary: there's no barriers to get started, so there's no excuses, except it's just not for you. And that's okay, but you can start part-time. There's no license required. It costs nothing to launch, and you can work from anywhere. So we know this works. We've proven this works. The only question is it for you? Is it for you? No? Okay. Maybe you want to refer some others. We talked to someone today. Jim and I had coffee with someone, said, yeah, it's not for me. I'm a mortgage person. I'm going to stay focused on mortgages. However, I'll refer you everyone I know that's a business owner. I just don't want to, try to catch 2 rabbits. He's a pro at what he does. He's a very high earning, very successful mortgage guy. And he's like, I'll just refer you some people. Thanks for telling me about this. You're going to get that. You're going to have others who say, tell me more. And you have others who say, let's go. So where do you stand? This is what I'll say. I thank you for watching. I'm going to go through 4 simple steps of starting for those who have interest. And then we're going to go into our month and stuff. But I just want to say this. I went through that fast. This is an informational overview, but it doesn't go to the depths of my heart. I was at a Chamber of Commerce meeting this morning, and I met with a bunch of business owners. Yesterday, I was at a meeting. Tomorrow morning, I've got one at 8 a.m. I've got one tomorrow at 5 p.m. I got one Wednesday at 7 a.m. I got one Thursday. I'm going to business meetings all the time, not because I need the commission, although I'm not afraid to get paid, but it's because I need to help businesses who don't know about us. There is a epidemic. You know, when COVID was running around, the front line of healthcare was the nurses and doctors, and God bless them for taking that risk and doing that for us, right? And well, guess what? The front line of capitalism is the small business owner. They employ most of America. And they unfortunately don't have the financial help that they need. I won't say they deserve. We think they deserve it, but I don't want to blame the banks. Banks are my partners. They refer us traffic. We refer them traffic. They refer us clients who don't meet their qualifications. We refer them clients who meet theirs. So they're not our enemies. We're partners in this together. In fact, we educate the community together. Two of those banks were with me at that chamber meeting this morning. In fact, one of them hosted the event this morning. So we're in this together to serve business owners. But I've got this passion to help them. If you have an interest of being a business owner yourself, by being on a mission to help other business owners get access to capital, it's not right for everybody. It's expensive if they don't have a good use. If they're just barely getting by as a business and they don't know what they're going to do to grow their company and they just need money because they need to pay some bills at home, taking money from us may not be the right answer because it costs a lot. So unless they've got a solution to get out of the grind they're in, the pinch they're in, money doesn't always solve it. But we can come along and we can get creative with them and we can help solve. You know, I was talking to someone the other day who owns a health food store, and I said, you know, she's struggling a little bit with business. And I said, have you ever thought about setting up an auto ship with your health food? You've got these people who buy vitamins, but they got to come into your store. Have you ever thought about just setting up an auto ship where they can buy it and next month it's going to come again and again and again and again right from your retail store? You're kidding. And she went back to her room and she came back in. We were having a coffee. I was with a broker. We were having coffee. And she came walking back out of, can I interrupt you guys? Did that whole thing you just talked about? Can we talk about that? That's got my mind is just going because she's never thought about doing it because she doesn't have the money to implement it. But what if we could give her the money to implement it? It probably costs 15 grand to set that up. And she's got a whole new e-commerce revenue base. So we can give creative ideas. We can give them thoughts and suggestions. You can do the same. The bottom line is if they can think, and most of them are brave business owners who launched a business, they're wired a little different. They don't need a guaranteed paycheck. They left a job to start a business, to take the risk. They're willing to do things most people won't do. They're adventurous in that way. Man, you give them some money and watch what they do with it. And that's what we do. So if you want to run with us, number one, get started. Whoever referred you is going to give you their link. There's an enroller code, their ID number. That way you're linked to them. You'll then get an enroller code when you join. Upon joining, when you're joining, you're going to be asked to create a username for yourself. There'll be a long email address in the form, about halfway down the form, and it says enter a username here that you'd like to have as your username. So we're going to give you an ID number, and then you can pick a username. But there's a lot in our system. So if you pick funding by us, it may already be taken. So usually just use your first initial, last name, something like that. That might even be taken. Depends on how common your name is. But pick a username in there. It's about halfway down the form. And if it says already taken, you got to re-enter it. Okay. So you'll think, why can't I join? Well, maybe you're picking a username that doesn't exist. But get yourself started. You'll get a welcome email then immediately. From that welcome email, you're going to be invited to get certified, and you'll have an invitation for that. So get yourself certified. After you're certified, you'll know the platform. You'll know the buckets that we have, who fits, who doesn't, how to pre-qualify a client, what to say to them, and then get going. Get yourself positioned, support businesses, and climb that ladder. And after you get certified, then we have other modules that pop up in the learning management system. We have a funding training, more advanced. We have comp plan training. We have agency expansion training. Those all pop up after you get certified. You won't see them until you're certified. So what's your path to success? Solo broker, many broker enroller. I was the broker enroller who started with a few people. Good thing they got a lot more clients before I did. Or do you want to be an agency builder where you say, I'm going to learn how to lead a city and then duplicate that into many markets and override all those markets? All those paths are available. In fact, we've got a local leader path, a journey. When you sign up for it, it's free. You sign up for it, you get 10 days in a row, a strategy email a system to follow with some homework to help to start learning how to lead your local market. In fact, next week we have a workshop Tuesday night for all local leaders. So, and there's no cost for this stuff. We give it to you complimentary so that you can go have success in your business. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because we're going to move into the next subject. But I applaud you for being here. I thank the people who invited you. Um, if you need to think about it, think about it. But I say go with your gut. You know how it is. You can feel whether there's an opportunity here. And whoever referred you, ask them how they feel. But they've got to know us more. They didn't just see a presentation like this. They've maybe been on our huddles and see how our team operates. Maybe they've been in our Facebook groups and been on some of our broker update calls. And stick around tonight because you're going to hear from not just myself, but a few more people tonight. So I just encourage you, go with your gut. And if you go, I just don't feel like doing this, don't join. Just refer some clients to whoever referred you. Or you may say, man, I mean, if you look at my mentality is there's no reason you can't build your own Rocket Mortgage here. There's no reason you can't have 1,000 certified brokers all doing one funding a week and get paid on 1,000 fundings a week. There's no reason. It's just determination, willingness, and then distance of time to go make it happen. I mean, the needs out there, not everybody wants to do this. Only about 15% of real estate agents sell a home. It doesn't stop Century 21 or EXP or, it doesn't stop anyone. You just you keep working. And then you find the ones who sell several homes a month. And, we're going to do the same. You may be one of those people, or you may be someone who builds an agency of 10 people and they get more clients than you. It's okay. We welcome that. We want you to be an example, lead by example, believe what we believe. But it's okay if you build a team that's better than you at production of funding. That's pretty smart, actually. The Henry Ford model, he couldn't do engineering, but he could believe that engineers would figure it out, right? I mean, he was an engineer, but he didn't do all the engineering in his company. And like he was sued and he said, I don't understand accounting, but I got a CPA. I push a button on my desk and the CPA comes in. He answers all the questions or she answers. I don't need to know it. That's what they're for. It's okay if you build a team of people who are really, really good at this. So with that, I'm going to stop streaming this. I thank you for being here.